why don't we talk about Betty White?
Betty White.
Betty White. This is...
I made a joke around the office. They're like, how old are you turning Miracle? And I'm like, 100. I last longer than Betty White. It was untasteful.
That was extremely distasteful. In fact, it was...
I made a joke, but
Miracle.
I love Betty White. I grew up on her content.
That's not true.
What do you mean?
Okay, what did you grow up on?
So I watched like clips of Golden Girl, and also there was a movie where like she was very sassy, and that's where I love her the most, when they hire her as the sassy grandma. And The Simpsons had an episode of her where like,
okay, that I was waiting for it. I knew it had to be something with The Simpsons.
So The Simpsons, there was an episode where they're asking like, people, please donate to these poor kids, they need your help. And like this Homer was like, okay, I'm gonna donate, and it's gonna be under my name, but they're not gonna track me down. And then PBS came, and Betty White is like, where's my money?
Yep, Betty White needs her money.
I need my money right now.
Yep. So this article is it's from the Los Angeles Times, and this is more just a general discussion of mourning Betty White.
Yeah.
And it says, Hollywood mourns the death of Betty White, a spirit of goodness and hope. A couple of weeks shy of her 100th birthday, on the last day of an already cruel 2021, Hollywood legend Betty White died. Friday, news of her passing prompted an outpouring of condolences and remembrances on social media from former co-stars and longtime admirers of the beloved actress, whose work and popularity spanned nearly 8 decades.
Oof.
Now, the reason I brought this up is because we weren't going to cover this.
We were going to cover the article. I thought it was funny, but like her secrets, how she like has a healthy life.
I didn't even want to. I didn't want to cover that. I didn't want to cover this because it just seems not off topic, but it's I don't know. It's hard to explain. It just doesn't seem like something that would normally want to cover. But what happened was we were in the middle of the New Year's party at work, and we don't exactly work in a place where pop culture is everybody's forte, right? Me and you might find this stuff interesting, but the people we work with aren't necessarily all like that. And what was fascinating to me was how much of a reaction, because I was the one who found the news.
Yeah,
and
but
broke it to
Lydia
people.
was...
And people were genuinely upset by it. Like, every girl that we work with was saddened by this, and Dane was saddened by this. And
like, Nick came down. He's like, no.
Yeah, so, like...
No, she's not.
It was interesting to me how a bunch of people who don't necessarily care about pop culture that, as much as we do, or aren't necessarily going to follow actors and actresses, were so upset by this. And what I'm saying is basically she is kind of like Mr. Rogers in that she's universally loved.
Yeah.
Like you're anybody who is saying a bad word about Betty White, it's likely to be, it's like a hot take meant to upset people or make them angry. And what I thought was interesting about the comparison to Mr. Rogers was that, do you remember did you see the Mr. Rogers documentary? Do you know much about?
I know about it, but...
So he's famous for a scene in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood where he dips his feet in a kid's pool with a man with an African American. Yes.
Yeah, like I love that show.
Francois Clemens was his name, and that was in 1969. But Betty White is almost more is more famous for a bunch of different reasons. But she had a similar situation where she had a backup dancer and on the Betty White show. Named Arthur Duncan.
Yeah. And
she got a lot of flack from various producers and people who ran various TV markets saying that they shouldn't do that. And
wait, what's wrong with him?
He was African American.
Oh,
and so they were upset because this was in this. But I'm saying is the Mr. Rogers situation was in 1969. Betty White's with Arthur Davidson, that was in 1954.
Dude,
so
she's progressive.
She pioneered. She was the first female TV producer, as far as I was able to gather.
That fact.
Also, in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest continuous television career of any female in history at 79 years or more. The Golden Girls is obviously something that transcends pop culture. That theme song.
How do you sing it again?
I'm not singing it on air. I will refuse to sing it.
I'll find it.
I can sing it. I'm just not going to do it. You don't need to bring it up, but we can't play it because it'll be copyrighted.
No, you can just say like one line.
No, thank you for being my friend.
Okay, there we
Being
go.
a friend.
Oh, that was adorable.
Yes, I'm not doing that.
That was so adorable.
I just coughed into the mic.
It's
She
fine.
started on the radio in the 40s, and it just really bums me out to see somebody like who had that much of a positive influence on the world. Because whether you like it or not, celebrities these days tend to be extremely polarizing.
She didn't talk about her politics at all either.
That does. It's not even that. It's like celebrities just can't seem to find a way to be more all-encompassing in their appeal to people. Right? They have to, It doesn't even have to do with politics. It could be just your inability to not give hot takes on any situation, whether it's politically related, whether it's related to current events in your industry. People have to get their hot takes on Twitter, and they have to say this stuff that makes them feel good in the moment, but makes it a lot harder for people who maybe aren't feeling as emotionally invested in whatever you're talking about. It makes it harder for them to be willing to support you, right? And somebody like Betty White, with a career that spans almost 80 years, was one of those last. You've mentioned a lot of times about the idea of old Hollywood. I think she's the definition of old Hollywood in that sense that she's very, very good. She inspired a lot of people, and you'd be hard pressed to find anyone have a bad word to say about her. To find out that she passed 17 days shy of her 100th birthday, I was almost cruel to me.
Yeah, it was kind of sad because, like, again, about that article that I pulled up, I was like, it was like she was talking about like how her secret diet and like secret other health benefits could like help you live long too. I was kind of saddened by this. Also, there was another cartoon reference that I forgot to mention. So anybody who's like the same age as me or younger, you remember the cartoon series Amazing World of Gumball? Oh.
You're waiting for an audience. I'm not your age, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you would be familiar because it would be on Cartoon Network here and there. But there was an episode where Richard Watson, like, he would hide and run away like randomly throughout the day, and they did a Golden Girl reference, and they had a character that was Betty White.
There you go.
And I forgot about that.
Like you'd see her in cartoon as like
she had a good influence on the young kids too.
She transcended. She didn't need to be an actress anymore. Who she was a character in and of itself. She was Betty White.
Yeah.
She wasn't just an actress who played other characters. She was herself, and that was enough.
I don't know, like, this kind of upsets me a little bit because, like, I feel like she's, like, the last good part of Hollywood. Maybe
not the last, but definitely represents a changing of the guard. She was in, so she served in, World War II, not, like, as, in the reserve, or, like, the voluntary, I'm guessing, like, making
bullets.
Well, maybe, but stateside. So she would have done her service voluntarily. I just found this whole thing, and then the amount of people that came out to speak on it. So here's what was it?
Another brilliant talent has made her transition. I had a pleasure getting to know Betty White and share a few giggles with her. May she rest well. In a well-earned peace.
She kind of transcended even meme culture. Every year for the last 5 to 6 years, I've been seeing memes about she's still alive and we need to make sure she stays alive. Protect Betty White at all costs.
Oh no, this is another distasteful meme. But I sent you this meme where it shows all the people who passed away in 2021, and it's Betty White doing this, and she's in between Prince Charles. Is it Charles? And then whoever else died.
It was the Mortal Kombat.
And then
the leaderboard.
And then Queen Elizabeth II is on top because she's immortal.
Yep, it's just crazy because I just as somebody who is not offended by any of that, it's crazy to me how many people come out in support of a woman like Betty White for being so damn good for the world. I don't know. I also wanted to mention they had a documentary or a Betty White celebration movie that was coming out on the 17th for her 100th birthday.
Yeah.
Right? That they already
were going to do that.
It was already filmed and they're going forward with it. So my guess is that they're just going to turn it into a tribute video rather than a celebration video. So that's sad. Like they're gonna have to edit and change it because she didn't quite make it into. I made not a joke, but I was like, if she was in Australia, it was technically 2022. We could say that she lived to the year 2022, but she didn't. She passed away on the 31st of December, 2021. It's super, super sad. And all of these people that have such great things to say about her, it's like look at this. It's like an endless list of celebrities that, whatever you think of celebrities, she clearly touched a lot of people. And I would be, my mom used to, when I was taking care of my mom, that was a very, I would be coming home from work and without fail every day, the Golden Girls theme would be coming on because it would be on old TV networks or whatever, the stations that play like old shows. So even though I wasn't necessarily a Golden Girls fan, it still ended up impacting my life because I heard the theme song every day.
Yeah,
so
I heard
she touched a lot of people.
Yeah. I love that theme song.
You sing it then. I'm not going to sing it.
Because in the cartoon series Amazing World of Gumball, like that episode that I told you, they played that song. So I'm going to rewatch that episode. I'm just going to sit in the corner of your room and just cry. There
you go.
Yeah.
Another thing I would notice that when she became like the first female TV producer, she also hired like the first female television director. So very, very, she blazed a lot of trails for people. Very, very sad to see her passing. And I really wanted, the only reason I even brought it up, because a lot of times it's always like, I'm not an expert on Betty White. It's not like I was particularly attached to Betty White. I believe that she is a national treasure in the way that you believe that anybody who has made an impact on society is. But just how much people at our office noticed made me want to talk about it. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.